Today we're going to take 2 pie shells and we're going to make 2 different things. One sweet and one savory. And when I show you how easy they are, you're going to say, why haven't I done this before? So every day, we find new things to invent with pie shell that we already can buy at the store. And I'm not too prideful to say that. Yes, I'm busy and I don't have time to sit here and make pie crust like my mom made all the time. And when I think about that now, and watching her make pie crust, like this woman really cooked a lot in her life. But things are much easier today, so we're going to use these that are already made for us. I have all of our ingredients here, and here's our 2 actual recipes. I sat up late last night. My hubs was snoring away, and I was writing away. And I have a pear and cranberry crostata. So it's so simple, you guys are going to love it. And I even have all the directions here. And then the other one is a tomato caprese crostata. And it's just even easier than the first one. So one is sweet and one is savory. I will put them on Facebook and post them. And this way they have the directions with them now. So I'm getting better at this, guys. I'm even never used to writing recipes down. So I'm kind of excited about it. So I want to show you the finished product. They are right here. This is the tomato one. Ooh, doesn't it look good? Yes. And it's nice and warm, so we're definitely gonna have a piece of that. And this is the pear one. It's got cranberries and pecans. It's got cinnamon on it, little sanding sugar. So this is a great dessert for after dinner with coffee. And then just for myself, I add a little Gorgonzola on the end because I like that saltiness with sweet. It kind of balances it out. So those are the 2 things we're making today. So this is how easy it is. We can actually make them both on the same pan. We don't even have to dirty a lot of things. So this is a silpat lining. You don't have to grease it, or you just have to rinse it off, when it's done. But you can keep it on your pans, and you can bake just about anything on here. So I put these on, and this is the size pan that we're going to be using. And I'm going to use the first one here. We're going to make the pear one first because that has a few more ingredients. So where are you, Track, today?
Where is he?
He's way back there today. He's like, I'm over this lady. She didn't give me anything to eat today. So I'm going to try to. Do we have a scissor?
Yeah.
Did I take it out?
Or by your purse.
Come on, Track. Show everybody your handsome bandana today. Here he comes. He's a little slow today, huh? Well, while I am opening these up, these are really nice and sharp. I wanted to tell you guys that I actually have an exciting announcement that I've been actually talking about for a while. But I'm actually going to do a live cooking demo at Amici's. I've decided to do it on the 14th of November. So I wanted to make sure, it was a good date. Abby's bridal shower is the 15th. So we're busy that Sunday. So I made it on a Saturday morning. I thought it would be nice that everybody could come out, and we're going to have more information on Facebook. So basically how it's going to work is I'm going to do a cooking demo for you guys, give you the recipe, give you a goodie bag with some little kitchen gadgets in it, because I'm crazy about kitchen gadgets. And then after I make it, we're all going to eat it together with some wine. So we're going to have probably 2 different wines. So it's kind of a little bit of a wine tasting with the dish that we're going to make. And of course, it's going to be a fall dish. So it's going to be something with some pumpkin in it, la pasta. So it's going to be really, really nice. So I'm going to put that on Facebook, but just kind of put it in the back of your mind that November 14th, try to make time to be at Amici's on a Saturday morning. And we're going to cook and have some wine and eat together. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, so these are already round for you, already pretty much in shape. I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of length to it here. And this is my fancy new rolling pin. It's not really for the pie crust, although you could use it for this. But this was a good size rolling pin. I just didn't feel like traveling with a real big one. And so I'm just going to put this right on here. And I'm going to put it right in the center. But isn't this cool, kind of? This rolling pin.
Yeah, I like
this
it.
is all carved out of here. So look so if you do this on cookie dough for Christmas, this is going to be super pretty. And then you would just, you know, cut out the circles. Okay, so to this now, we have some pears here. And I went ahead, these are Bosc pears. I use Bosc because they're like the best for cooking. They don't melt down like a mushy apple does. They have like a little bit, they're almost like the green one. What is the green one? The green apple?
Sure.
I can't think of the name of the green apple.
I don't really eat green apples.
I do, I love them. The sour green apples for apple pie, that's these. They keep their shape and they're really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, I don't know if this is 3 of them. So it's 3 Bosc pears, and Bosc pears are the ones with the brown skin. I peeled it off and I sliced these really thin. And why I slice them really thin, you can see here, is because of the cooking time. So when we put them on here, they'll cook fast. Otherwise, if you have big chunks of pear on here, they're gonna take a long time and the pie crust is gonna get all burned. So I'm just gonna start out with a couple of them. I'm not gonna put them all in. And if you wanted to do these ahead of time and just store them in a bowl overnight, just put a little bit of water with lemon juice and that'll keep them from turning brown. Because sometimes people like to do things ahead of time, I don't blame them. Okay, so to this, okay, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So that's all melted. And I'm just gonna pour that in there. There.
It was Granny Smith apples, by the way.
Granny Smith.
Karen and Tina helped me out.
That's right. I don't know how I just totally drew a blank on that. I feel like an idiot. Granny Smiths. That's it. These are equal to the Granny Smiths. Okay. And to this, I really don't even have to follow a recipe because I actually made it up myself. But so yeah, the 2 tablespoons of butter, and now I'm going to put in like a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. It's just like a couple shakes, just to get that flavor in there. And we're going to mix this around. If you do not like pears, you can use an apple. In the summertime, you could use a peach. I would not recommend using anything frozen whatsoever because it will just turn to mush in here. And with pears, orange goes really good. You might think well, a lemon or something like that, but the orange and the pear it just brightens it up so much. It gives it a lot of flavor. So I'm just gonna zest this orange in here. And I've tried it with nutmeg, a little allspice, different kind of things, but I find that the cinnamon works the best and it's just nice and neutral. Plus when it bakes, it has that nice fall smell to it. So this is a tried and true. Yesterday I got up early and I said, okay, I'm gonna try to figure this out, and I did it. It took me a while, but we came out with a wonderful crostata. Okay, so I did and you know how it all goes on the bottom, so we just take it off there. And we're just going to add that in, and we're just gonna stir it around. So we have the apples, the cinnamon, the melted butter, and
Pears.
Oops, I did say apples. They look like it. And the orange zest now. Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it smell good? It's just like nice and bright. Okay, what we could do is we could just dump them on here if you wanted to be really, really fast with it. We could do a couple of them. You could actually spread them out so that they cook even faster with a single layer. So we can try to do that. And then they come out, you know, the prettier it is, the more it'll be, you know, appealing it'll be too. You'd be like, wow, I made this. Look at this fancy thing. But it's really not fancy at all. So we've started some fall dishes at the restaurant. So this is the season where we start our butternut squash ravioli and our portobello ravioli. Just a bunch of nice different dishes. Of course, we like to do like some sage dishes with chicken. So this is a fun time of year, but I'm not a huge pumpkin person. So having all this pumpkin latte and all this stuff is not really I have my plain old coffee every day.
No pumpkin spice for you?
No, I don't like it. I like, you know me, I'm plain coffee in the morning.
I'm an eggnog latte gal.
Are you really? And you like your lavender dream from raw coffee?
I do.
I always try to do that. because I like my cappuccino from there. Okay, so this, look how I had spread these out on here, and they actually look kind of pretty. And to this now, I'm just going to, this is the trick of this is how easy. You bring up just a little bit, and then you just bring up the next side and fold it. This is a very, very rustic dish, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the edges like all with a fork or crimped. We're just simply folding these like this. And that's what it'll turn out to look like. Isn't that pretty? And on top of it now, we just have a little bit of the dried cranberries. If you don't like these, you could do blueberry. And what I found really interesting about this little bag that I found was that it has actually the pecans in it already. It had them like candied. So I thought to myself, what a nice little touch to it, candied pecans. And of course I got them at my favorite store, like Food Lion, man. They do me right all the time. They know me by name in there now. All right, so there we go. Look how pretty that looks. And we're gonna move that out of the way. So that's pretty much the pear crostata. So what we wanna do, just to make the edges nice, we're just gonna go ahead and put like a little egg wash on it. So it's just an egg. We're gonna beat it up in a little bowl like this. You don't have to add anything to it, no milk, nothing like that. And we just get our little pastry brush, and we're just gonna go around the edges of it. And what it does is it makes it nice and brown, and it has like a golden, shiny consistency to it, which makes it even more pretty. Very festive for the holidays coming up. And you could definitely, you know, mix and match in this. Like I said, you could put you could put almonds in it. I mean, this is just the combination that I liked. And I just put those together like that. And the last thing I'm gonna put on it is, if you don't have it, you can use regular sugar, but this is sanding sugar. So it's a tiny bit bigger, and it's like, really?
Oh, it's like sprinkles.
Yeah, it's like sprinkles, but it's just plain sugar. And, you know, I'm just gonna sprinkle it around the outside here, and it's gonna make it look really pretty when it comes out. It's gonna have that extra special little. There you go. So that's the one. What's the matter, Track? You look like you're falling asleep. You know, I don't think he likes this food today. So I'm going to hold this, Ebs, right here.
Hold this?
Yep, because I'm just gonna move this down. I'm gonna put these right on the same exact thing. Get them done. I'm gonna turn this around. Now we're gonna make the tomato caprese one. And in Italian cooking, anytime you hear the word caprese, it's referring to like the colors, the red, the white, the green. So you have typically, it's the red for tomatoes. Oh, wow. Red for tomatoes, the green for the basil, and the white for the cheese. So that's how we're gonna do that. So we're gonna take our other pie crust here. So just, I have mine room temp. If you try to roll them out when they're cold, they break. And I've also found that out from trial and error. I'm just gonna stretch it out just a tiny bit. It really doesn't need to be, but I like to get that extra little inch around the thing. So I'm gonna try to put it together on here, just to do two at one time, make it easier. We'll just overlap for just a second. Okay, so in this bowl, I have all different cherry tomatoes. And you can find these all year round in the produce section. So I went and I got the multicolored. So I have yellow, and then I have a darker colored one. We have the orange, and we have the basic red cherry tomatoes. I chose these because they cook really fast. If you were going to use like a big Campari tomato or Roma or a beefsteak tomato, you would want to slice them this way, not in chunks, but in slices. Because remember, you need things thin in here for the baking time of the crust. So if you have something thick in here, it's not going to cook. So in this bowl, I'm probably going to I'm going to just add a little bit of olive oil to it. So we're going to give it a little bit of moisture. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. I have everything written down for you guys. Have you been using this?
Yes, I have.
went and bought myself another one too. And I like it because it has all the different, it has white pepper in here also. Okay, so we have salt and peppered this. So we're getting some flavor to the tomatoes. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add oregano. And this is my oregano from my garden. I love my herb garden at home. I use it all year round, so I actually dry my own spices. This is fresh oregano, so I'm gonna just throw that in there, and that's gonna give it a little bit of flavor as well. So I'm gonna mix it around. See how I'm doing everything in one bowl? I could have probably mixed all the pears in there too, but I had just put a little too much. So we need an extra bowl. Okay, so we have the tomatoes all done. And now, but what we're gonna do with these is we're gonna make, the caprese part is the cheese. So this is shredded mozzarella. It's from a bag, and you don't wanna use the fresh mozzarella because it has a lot of water in it. So if you were to put it on here and bake it, this would be very, very soggy. So we just wanna put on a little bit of this shredded, it's low moisture, like the part skin mozzarella. I have had so many nice people, right, Abs? We had so many people come into the restaurant this week from the videos, and we've met so many nice ones. I think her name was Angie. Angela came in, and she said that they watch it at work, so I was like so excited. And so I want to give her a shout out. And then we had Pamela came in, and she told me she had made the spaghetti JJ with her granddaughter, and that came out great. We had a few people last night. I know that my cousins in New York watched, Denise in Rhode Island. I actually had a couple come to the bar last night also, and they were like, oh, you're the lady with the videos every week. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. So, okay, so I have the bed down for the tomatoes, and it's just the shredded mozz. And again, I'm just gonna like kind of pour these out on top, and we're gonna spread them out because, you know, we don't want them all on top of each other. They won't cook even. And I'm gonna flip them because I like the look of the inside of the tomato. I just think it looks prettier. I mean, when I was looking these up, I saw some really fancy crostatas. Like people really take the time, line them all up and stuff. I'm a basic cook. Maybe that comes from having 3 hungry kids all the time. All right, but to me that looks pretty, right?
I approve.
You approve. All right. And this one's a little easier. Same thing. We're just going to go around the sides like this. Very simple. We're taking and folding. And these are very rustic. They come out that way. They're made to be that way. So there we go. We can actually put 2 on one pan. We're going to do the same thing with the egg wash again. We are going to go around the outside of this one too because we want him to be golden as well. Just because he's savory doesn't mean he can't be pretty. We have a new chef at the restaurant, and he's doing fantastic. And he laughs because I say, oh, your dishes are so pretty. And I'm not really sure that's what he wants to hear about the dishes. I think he'd rather hear that they look fabulous, but they're pretty dishes. We eat with our eyes, remember that. Okay, so, guys, I am stuck on 4C because I was raised on it. If I wasn't grinding it and on a grater, cheese grater, my Nana always had 4C in the jar. So, you know, I'm a creature of habit. Okay, there we go. We have a cranberry and pear, and then we have a caprese one. So we have the cheese with the caprese. You might say, well, JJ, where is the basil? So we can't put the basil on here right away because if we laid the basil on top here, it would burn and it would get black. So it would look awful. And then, you know, I said we're going to top this one with Gorgonzola. So we don't want to put the Gorgonzola on it now either because it would really get melty. So we put it on after. So these go in the oven now, and I have the oven temps for you guys here. Now the tomato one cooks in half of the time of the pear. So even though I have them on the same thing, they cannot cook, they do not cook the same amount of time. I did it like this yesterday, and I kept a watch on them, and the tomato one takes 30 minutes. And I actually wrote that. The temperature goes to 375 in the oven. And the tomato one takes 30 minutes, so it's half the time. Because the pear took an hour. And I kept checking and checking and checking. Now again, I have an old stove. I'm waiting for a new one. Hint, hint. So I'm thinking might not be quite as efficient, so you might want to check your times, but this is half the time as this, because these tomatoes cook so fast, and so does this crust. There's nothing to it. What you're basically waiting for on this is the pears. That's what takes the time. So yes, you could bake them on the same pan like this, and when the tomato one is done, you take it off, you slide it off with a spatula, and it goes right on the plate, and then you can just continue to cook this one in the oven for the other extra 30 minutes. So we're just going to leave that right there. We have everything here, so now we can actually try these. This is what I've been waiting for. And I made these yesterday, so Abby and I just reheated them. Here, I'm going to get us 2 forks and a serrated edge knife. We probably don't even need it, but I went ahead now, see, and I put the Gorgonzola on it after it came out of the oven, the Gorgonzola and the basil. That's just a really pretty leaf. We could probably add a little bit more on there just so that every bite kind of, and I like to just tear my basil on something like this because it's such a rough, thick dish anyway, so it really just kind of matches in there. So let's go ahead and cut this bad boy. You can cut them as big as you want to. And remember, it's a pie crust, so it's nice and flaky. Should we get a plate, you think?
That's fine.
Yeah. All right, and then we can just put it on and take a taste. It comes out just like a pizza, guys. Do you want to eat it like that, or do you want a fork?
No. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
This is my lunch. So
Oh, I know. I'm just gonna pick mine up. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let's see how it is. The tomato one's so juicy, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
There you go, Track.
It's so nice and flaky too.
It is.
That cooked
It's a
perfectly.
pie shell,
Yeah.
right? It's a pie shell. Let me tell you, I kept opening the oven yesterday and saying, "Is it done? Is it done? Is it done?" I just didn't want it to get overdone, but it's actually so good.
No, it's perfect.
And don't forget, you have the mozzarella in there. So it kind of holds it all together. It kind of keeps the cheese or the tomato from really soaking into the pie shell or making it soggy. So that's wonderful.
No, yeah, it's not soggy at all. Oops, I'm making a mess.
Hey, baby, you want to try a little bit?
Dang. No, there we go.
He's got enough. All right.
That's why you get a dog, right?
Yeah, it's the kitchen vacuum. Have you never known that? Okay, now we're going to try the pear one. And I am so excited to try this. I love pears. I wasn't sure if Abby had ever, I mean, I was a big fruit eater. The kids were big fruit eaters when they were little, but I wasn't sure if I'd really given Abby a lot of pears when she was little.
No. I mean, I've had them the past couple of weeks
I
when
don't
you
know
buy
why.
them.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time I ever tried them. I love them.
Your sister is crazy about them.
Yeah, I love them though. They're delicious.
Okay, I'm ready to try this one.
All right, let me get mine.
You ready?
We got cranberries in here. Let's see.
It's like a thin pie.
Right. Yeah.
You get all the flavor of a pie. You have the crust, the cinnamon, the buttery pears, and then you have the little bit of the gorgonzola, which
Yeah.
I love it.
No, it goes so well together.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's messy, but it's good.
That's that flaky pie crust. That's what you want. The Tracker's busy eating it all off the floor, thank God. Come on, Track, eat it.
He likes it so.
So guys, I hope you go ahead and make these. You can make as many as you want to. This is just a really quick dinner, maybe one night. You could have this with a glass of wine, this with a cup of coffee, and for breakfast. I mean, they are wonderful, wonderful meals to make, nice and quick. I'm trying to make them nice and quick for you guys. Don't forget, keep watch on my Facebook for the demo at the restaurant. We're going to have limited seating. I'm probably going to keep it around 20, maybe 25 people, but It's gonna be a great day. We're gonna cook, we're gonna eat, we're gonna drink wine together. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next week.